Another twist in the Tottenham roller coaster. 19-year-old Josh Coburn scoring an extra time winner as a limp Spurs end up getting beaten by a 107th-minute winner at the Riverside Stadium to spark wild scenes. What a story that was, Trevor.
Brilliant performance, all in all. Credit to the players. I think the setup was superb. Individually, the players played well. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Chris Wilder for going toe-to-toe with Spurs. And you look at the possession, it was 51% possession. It was a very equal game. But the way that they carved out the move for the goal, it was real quality. Intricate passing, 1 and 2 touch passing and moving. And the actual finish, so much composure for a 19-year-old kid. And Josh Coburn deserves a lot of credit for that finish because he absolutely launched it. He gave no risk in that. He was being clinical and it was going to end up in the back of the net. And it was a fantastic win for them again on the back of beating Manchester United in the last round.
In terms of Tottenham, it really just backs up what I was saying on this programme yesterday. Antonio Conte seems to feel a lot of love from the Tottenham fans for a manager who's now been dumped out the FA Cup by a Championship side. They've lost at Burnley, they've lost at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers and to Southampton as well. Surely if Antonio Conte is this elite manager that we're led to believe, those type of results should not be happening on his watch. I think he gets far too much of a free pass from the Tottenham fans. All the blame is attached to the players and to Daniel Levy. When are they going to start looking at the man in the dugout?
Well, this is not probably because of the fact that this has been something that has happened for a number of years. We just mentioned that it's 15 years since they last won a trophy. And Trevor, I do wonder whether or not Antonio Conte, pointing out the fact that his players probably aren't up to scratch, they do not have the sort of competitiveness and fight that he was expecting to see from them when he walked in the door. I wonder whether or not when he's had so many ups and downs just over the course of the last 2 weeks and has come out with his wonderful statements about how they're the best group of players he's ever worked with, and then the next minute he wants to quit, and then it's all a strategy and he's not being emotional, it's all planned, and by revealing that in itself, he's actually tying himself in a bit of a knot, and the players don't know whether they're coming or going.
Yeah, listen, I think he's deflecting a lot of the pressure away from the players. But like you just said there, they're underachieving. I think you look at the results that they've had, and apart from the Manchester City result, it's been pretty poor. But I will say, I look at the quality of the players, and I know Dyer's an international player and he's done really good things for England. He's not a centre-half and he's being asked to play in that position.
Well, he is a centre-half now, Trevor, because he's been playing there for about 3 years without interruption.
And didn't he want to be a centre-half as well? Was that not his choice?
Fair enough. But what we're talking about is quality, elite, experienced centre-halves. They do things second nature. They fight for space before the ball's even gone there. There's certain attributes that centre-halves just have naturally, and he's trying to adapt himself into that. And, you're talking about round pegs in square holes. I don't think this Spurs side, if Antonio Conte stays at the football club, will look anything like it does now in about 12 months' time.
I want to hear from Spurs fans this morning. 03717222344 is the number to call. Where do they need to strengthen most, do you think?
Wow. Probably everywhere apart from up front, I would imagine. I think defensively is a big issue for the reasons that Trevor has just highlighted. I'm a little bit suspicious about the goalkeeper as well. I think he's been a terrific ambassador for Tottenham. He's been a leader in that dressing room, but he isn't getting any younger. Hugo Lloris, I know they've got an interest in Sam Johnson at West Bromwich Albion. I think that could be a good signing
last night
in the summer.
Didn't he, when he came careering out? He seems to have a habit of doing that now.
Yeah, and I think Trevor will tell you any successful team needs a strong goalkeeper, needs a strong defence. I'm sure there'll be the areas that Antonio Conte is focusing on. But again, if you're Daniel Levy, if you're the Tottenham owners, are you thinking now, actually, this guy hasn't come in and pulled up any trees?
No.
Do we really want to lavish him with the money that he's asking for?
But I think you do that because you've seen his record.
The manager every 6 months, can you?
No, you've seen what he can do if he's given the purse strings to bring in his own players that he wants to fill and fulfil roles in the side. I think offensive midfielder. We talk about Ndombele. He's out on loan till the end of the season. Is that going to be made permanent? But they certainly need more creativity in the centre of the park. Not saying anything bad about Winks or Højbjerg. I think they do both play a role, but they're very similar. They break things up. They keep it simple. They're not a Christian Eriksen. Is one example of a player that Tottenham have had in years gone by where you're going to get certain qualities from them, and I just think they're missing that. And in the end, Harry Kane ends up trying to be that man, but he can't do both. He can't get on the end of his own passes. So I think creativity in the middle of the park needs to be one area they've got to look at. And then you look forward. I think they look decent going forward when the ball does get into the final third of the pitch, but it's getting it there.
They've got one way of playing, though, haven't they? Which is basically sit and hit people who defend high up the pitch and get in behind with their pace. That seems to be their only recipe for real success.